Welcome again, Postmortem Radio. Oz joined, as always, by the blonde in front, Katie.
Oh,
Nope.
Lord, nope.
And JK.
And today I am AKA Gordy Stunt Double.
All right. So today we are going to be talking about Nope. All right. So this we've finally all had a chance to see this. I got to see it in XD. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it in IMAX. Katie, did you get to see it on IMAX? I know Jay said he saw it in IMAX. Did you?
Yes, I saw it in IMAX,
Okay,
and
so
I actually told you guys to see it in IMAX, especially with the sound and everything, because I think sound is an quintessential, like, you have to have a theater that has great sound for this film.
Yeah,
I agree.
So I guess I'm the only one who dropped the ball on that one. But
Well,
at least,
no.
you know, I went to XD. That's
Yeah,
all we had.
that's
XD is
good.
great. So
Yeah.
don't just because
Best
we went
we
to
can do.
IMAX, it just worked out that way, Oz. With it, especially for me, I was able to go see it again at an AMC in IMAX. But seeing in XD, I've seen plenty of films in XD, and the sound is superb. So there's no missing anything there.
Really
so.
is. I really want to see Maverick, and I saw it in XD, but I really would like to see it in IMAX. Did either of you see that in IMAX? Was that dope? Nope.
Yeah,
Okay.
but no.
All right. Well, Nope. All right. What this is? What Jordan Peele again?
Third film.
I really, I was on the fence with this, honestly, going to see this. I was like, do I want to? Because, I really loved Get Out. Absolutely loved it. But you know what? When we went to see Us, it totally lost me. I couldn't stand. I mean, I was like, what in the fuck is going on? I couldn't get into it at all. I mean, it had some creepy moments. It was a little scary, but it just wasn't what I expected. So with this one, I was kind of like, do I or do I not? Kind of felt like it was M. Night Shyamalan all over again. Either I'm going to love it or I'm going to fucking hate it. There's no in between. So, but then a good friend of mine and a listener to the show, William Walker, he comments a lot on our stuff. He went to see it and he loved it. And so I respected his opinion. And William, you're the reason why I went to see it. You're the reason we're doing this episode. So I followed his advice and we went to see it yesterday, actually. So that's where we're at. So I will hold my comments to the end and let you guys take it away. What do you think, Katie? Because it seems like you're kind of chomping at the bit there. No pun intended.
No, I mean, yeah, Gene Jack. I'm not Gene Jack and chopping at the bit. I loved it. I do not watch trailers anymore because I feel like the marketing teams either mislead or overshow the films. And it's like, I want to see a movie I want to see the movie. I don't want to, if I wanted to see 2 minutes of it, it's like, or not. I don't know. I don't like trailers anymore. They used to be my favorite thing. Now I don't like them. So I went in there not knowing anything. I kind of figured it'd be like a little, maybe supernatural sort of thing with it. I loved it. I think it has many, many messages regarding what the creature is. I think the sound design, honestly, is going to be nominated for an Oscar. I think it holds up to everything that Jordan Peele's prior films have. You've got an aspect of family. You have performances that are freaking effortless and exceptional. Is that what I said? Yeah, exceptional and effortless. And then you've got a twist in the middle and then a fight to the death at the end. And all this does it. Are there things that happen that you can't explain? Yes. Did he have that in Get Out? Did he have that in Us? Yes. Sometimes that's good for a horror film. We don't need the full explanation. We don't need the story. But I loved how there are multiple things that happened in the film that all really tie in together in a very subtle way, yet very blatant way. And I think Keke Palmer, this is the best I have ever seen her act in this film. No,
Yeah, I thought she was pretty good. She was
I
pretty
thought
good.
she was great.
Mhm.
Michael Wincott, chef's kiss. Love him. Love the fact that you've got Oz
He's
Perkins.
been great in pretty much everything I've ever seen him in.
Yeah, exactly. But you've got Oz Perkins, Donna Mills, and then the legendary, because we're going to spoil this because this is what we do, the legendary Keith David, which I am so glad I went in there. That was the first voice that I hear, and I'm like, what? I did not know you were in this.
I
When
didn't
did you
either.
get
And
invited?
I did.
that was
I did.
that was probably my favorite part of the entire movie. seeing
You did
him.
not RSVP to this party to me. I did not see that on the, group chat. And it's like, oh, now I know why. 'Cause you're not in it that long. Okay. Well, that's too bad.
Unfortunately.
But still, I mean, he's using horror icons or,
Yeah.
people who have been in some pretty significant horror films and two big ones who have been in some amazing legendary horror films, including ones that have like an alien connection to them with Keith David and Michael Wincott. Now, I like the fact that this is a alien movie without it being like, aliens. It's one singular entity that's doing this. I am wearing Jaws because I thought the last third of the film was supposed to be like an homage to Steven Spielberg's Jaws. You've got the Wild West as being in the ocean. You've got Michael Wincott as Quint with a Werner Herzog kind of like aspect to him. You've got Angel as Hopper, and then you've got Stephen Yeun as the mayor of Amity. And then I thought the twins, or not the twins, but I thought OJ and Emerald were kind of like a combination of Brody, like his serious side and his fun side. I stand by that. I thought the way that, when the alien exploded at the end, Jaws. When they were chasing it, Jaws. When they were trying to do all the things, Jaws. I thought the part with Gordy the monkey, look, Jordan Peele has had some films that are very bloody and very violent, but I actually thought that this film was his most brutal, with the aspects of stuff you could not see but you could hear. The fact that you could hear those bones break on that TV set and him ripping the flesh off of people's faces but you couldn't see it, I thought was a better was a more brutal aspect than anything he's ever done before. I thought the whole thing with the misuse of animals, including the alien, and then the alien taking basically taking a shit on the house, because when you think about it, when the house was dripping blood, that's not, we see it as blood, but when you think about it, that's the alien taking a shit on that house. And that's what it thinks of that house, because tell me I'm wrong. That is actually, I thought about that later. It's like, oh, you know what? That they're just pissing all over that place. That kind of marks its territory. Interesting. But with the horses, with the alien, with the monkey, it's like, look, don't take advantage of animals. Realize, like, what's the line? You can't tame a predator. You have to enter an agreement with one. And as much as people think that chimpanzees are like these cute things, you have to be careful with them, because that is a proven fact that they can do that. They've done that to different people, where they will tear the faces off, and you just have to be careful. This is a wild animal. But I thought it was great. I know it's not going to be everybody's bag. I know a lot of people didn't see those aspects of it with the animal cruelty or, taking advantage of the animals and stuff like that. But I thought it was amazing. I don't think it was a bad miracle whatsoever, as some people are going to say. But I think Jordan Peele's 3 for 3. I will definitely go see whatever he has next, because I just think his mind is absolutely fantastic.
All right.
Okay. Well, shall I go next?
Bring it.
Okay. So everyone, So everyone who knows me, I'm sorry, Oz, what did you want to say? My apologies.
I know, I was gonna say, go ahead. I mean, I did see some similarities to Jaws, but the biggest glaring thing that made me think Jaws was not so much the last third of the movie, but I mean, even prior to that, the fact that he consciously kept the ship hidden, a lot like Spielberg did, hiding the monster, and you didn't really see Jaws until, towards the end of the movie. That's kind of what made me feel like, he was kind of pulling a little bit of inspiration from Jaws. That was my main part. But go ahead, Jay.
Well,
what do you think?
I'm going to, maybe I'm not as intelligent. Maybe I don't have as much depth in my personality or my character or my intelligence when it comes to. Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. Don't say stop. I can say these things if I want to. Maybe I don't have that because I didn't see a Jaws connection at all. I honestly think that people who talk about that are reading way too much into trying to find a parallel to his films. And one of the things that I love about Jordan Peele is the fact that he has an original voice. And a lot of that original voice is based in comedy. And the famous line, there's a thin line between a laugh and a scream. And for Jordan Peele, and I think he said it very well with the fact when they compared Carpenter, and he's like, I believe he said, don't slander his name. I think paraphrasing what he had said. It's very true, but I saw no comparisons to Jaws whatsoever. I didn't read into any of the characters whatsoever with any sort of comparisons. Now, for the fact that both, Oz, you and Katie did, I think is remarkable because it shows, how much it connects with you as a horror fan, which I think is really important. And for me, I agree wholeheartedly with Katie about the fact that I would go see anything that Jordan Peele puts up on the screen. And I was one of the people who was really not a fan of Get Out when it first came out. I really wasn't. It took me a while to really kind of warm up to it. And I know, that's forever, whatever that's worth. I didn't really warm up to that film until I read the screenplay, and I actually sat down with the commentary of the film and actually dug deeper, which is what you have to do with the Jordan Peele film. He is really taking you on a multi-layered journey, societal, psychological, the deep, dark inside of yourself. I mean, you could go so many different layers with what he does, visually, audio, as well as story. But for me, I could not agree more with what Katie said at the beginning about how marketing now has made trailers so misdirecting, and that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to it. I mean, it gives us a surprise on our film. I love the fact, and again, spoilers, folks. We didn't say at the beginning, but spoilers, folks, about this. But if you're watching this, you have kind of a feeling that you're going to hear a lot about it if you're a fan of Postmortem, and hopefully you are.
So every one of our, I mean, if you're watching this and you didn't see the thing, it says spoiler.
Right, but the people who are watching, I'm sure did, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm just covering our butts when it came to this because I think what Jordan Peele did was closer to Close Encounters of the Third Kind than it was Jaws.
I do too. I would agree.
And
with that.
I say that not because of the fact that it's alien entities, but the simple fact of how he brings this entity forward. And again, the film is really smart. The performances are outstanding. Special hats off to Keke Palmer, especially, who is fantastic. Is it her best performance? No. Akilah and the Bee will always be her best performance as a child. That film was dynamite with Lawrence Fishburne. If you have not seen it, you need to see it. It is a phenomenal film.
I need to see that then. Yeah, I need to see that.
It's incredible. It's empowering. It's everything else. But it doesn't take away fact. Also, Alice, which came out also this year, blaxploitation, very small release. I'm pretty sure it's Keke Palmer and Common, if I'm correct. But I will say this: she was phenomenal. She was absolutely phenomenal in this. But everyone across the board, the cast is loyal to Jordan Peele, and the vision is loyal to Jordan Peele's brand. And I'm sure Jason Blum, and I didn't bring the Funko Pop with me for this round, but I'm sure every time that he puts out a film, somewhere's inside, Jason Blum feels that little knife edge in his gut after being part of that Academy Award. Just saying, because Jordan Peele has gone on to a lot of great stuff. But about the film, I got to tell you, I'm so glad I saw this film twice. If I could have saw it the third time before we sat down for this episode, I would have absolutely done that. But I have to say, I liked it the first time. I really loved it more the second time. I loved it for so many reasons, and I don't have a list, so my apologies to everyone out there because you like Keith David, like the central father character. What's Hayward's first name in for the film? What's his character's first name? OJ.
OJ.
No, OJ. The father, Keith David.
Oh, Pops.
Pops. We go with Pops.
Yeah,
Like Pops, I felt like I had something lodged in my eye, so I needed to sleep before I got up. But I'm going to tell you something. The way the performances are, the family dynamic, the idea of having Michael Wincott be a part of this production, and what a great role as the DP. He plays that kind of, he reminds me a little bit of like Medicine Man meets Hollywood, because he sits in that, what looks like some sort of jungle where he's going through that footage of predators. And you just feel like he's this kind of cult leader who's in the backwoods of the Amazon as he's looking at this stuff. One of the things I loved about this film is the balance of laughs and scares. I thought that this film really brought some amazing, funny moments to a really tense situation, because honestly, I think you two can agree with me. Is there a lot of things in this film that we've seen before? Absolutely. There's plenty of things we've seen before. And M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dang is a great comparison to it, Oz, because honestly, going into this, I thought of Signs a lot when it came to this. Mm-hmm. I said, it's going to be very similar. It's going to be but again, misdirection. But the laughs for me, the humorous moments that cut that tension was fantastic. And for me, I like that even more than the horror, because he gave us something where we could balance our emotions and our feelings as we're watching this. I've got a lot more to say, but Oz, what did you like about it?
Well, that won't take long. I did. What I liked about it was, I will agree with you guys that the sound was pretty good. The sound was very well done. The actual performances, strangely enough, as much as I didn't enjoy this film, I couldn't find anything really negative as far as the acting goes. I think it just, like you guys said, it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't in my kind of film. Okay. I thought Keke Palmer was great. She made me laugh. I thought she was great. Daniel, he's been good in every one of his movies. Guy's a phenomenal actor. It was great to see Stephen Yeun again. I was a big fan. I've been a big fan of his since The Walking Dead. I know you're going to say,
is he really? Oz, is he really dead, or is he under a dumpster like he was in The Walking Dead?
No, he's not under a dumpster. He's the one place they didn't look, in a spaceship. Okay.
It's not a spaceship. It's an alien belly that looks like a spaceship, so that it'll draw people in.
It's a vacuum. It's a Eureka vacuum. All right. This is where the budget was cut, where they had to show us the inside of the alien. All right. Tell me we all couldn't do something like that. If you're not inspired to create an alien now, I don't know when you're ever going to be.
But yeah, the fact that I was pleasantly surprised to see Keith David. Anytime I see him in any kind of film, it's a treat. I can't wait to see him finally at Horror Hound, September 9th to the 11th. Make sure if you haven't got your tickets, make sure you get them there. Can't wait. And then Michael Wincott, Katie went on enough about him, but everything I've ever seen the guy in, he's knocks it out of the park. I think one of the things that really stuck out to me too is the way it was shot and the special effects of just seeing everything as it was going up into the belly or ship, whatever you want to call it. I thought that was just really, really well done. I haven't seen anything that good since probably like Twister. As far as something like that looked like that. The rest of the movie, to be honest, I gotta say, did not get me. I was bored to death.
It's a bit long. I agree with you on that.
It was very dry. Long. There were times where there's times where if I'm really tired, I will kind of doze off a little bit. But Janelle never falls asleep in a movie, and there were times where she fell asleep, and I was like, damn, this is me waking her up. This is a switch, But yeah, I mean, it was that dry for us.
Can I say something?
And
real
I
quick?
just, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I just want to offer what you said before we lose the point. Oz, I agree with you, and I think this is the very random case where a film needed that length of time to be fully fleshed out, but maybe it was the wrong idea to go forward with. And what I mean by that is, normally if a film is too long, the runtime is way over 2 hours. It's because the editor couldn't cut out enough stuff. They fell in love with the material. They didn't want to cut out stuff. That's normally what it is. But the truth of the matter is that this idea, I think, fit the runtime, but I think this is an issue in the script more than it is in the edit, because he could have easily cut some of that stuff out very much. He could have made it under 2 hours and been good.
But easily. But you know what I'm going to say is and I can kind of maybe go to bat for him in this one, is that maybe like what I was alluding to earlier, the performances were so good that, you know, maybe it was, you know, he just really didn't want to, you know, cut some of that out. Some of the dialogue, things like that, you know.
Yeah.
The way they delivered those performances, in his eyes, if he cut out a piece of this, takes away from, you know, either something from scenes prior or what's coming up. And maybe that's why he felt like he couldn't trim the fat on this at all. I don't know. I'm just all speculation, obviously, but either way, it was definitely way too slow moving and dry, and needed something to grasp. I mean, they did a good job getting my attention initially with Keith David, and when everything came down and, you know, the nickel in his head and all that stuff, and I was kind of like into it, but then it was just like, okay, where are we going from here? And it just really lost me.
I agree.
I can understand that, but I think one of the reasons why you have that longevity of the film is the main point of this film is working with animals. And to me, even though it seems slow, one of the things you have to have patience. And that's kind of, I feel like, something that the film did. It's like they kind of over-explained certain situations and kept it going. But you have to do that when you're working with any kind of animal. And
True.
I think, like, with the beginning with, with Ghost or Clover, and then, you know, with going with Jean Jacket and Lucky and stuff like that, it's like just dealing with animals and showing, because I mean, that's the whole thing with, you know, what happened with Gordy. It's like, if you follow those rules, that wouldn't happen. It's like any sort of noise can trigger an animal. You have to realize that, like, you have to over-respect them more than you respect, you know, everything else. And I can understand what both of you are saying regarding the longevity, but I felt like after seeing it and thinking about it a lot, that's why that was kind of to make sure everything was very patient and at that pace. Jay, you made a good point, which I forgot to include, which was the comedy of this film. And I think he just did a masterful job at, like, layering in the comedy with still having that suspense, especially spoilers. The part when the beast is over Daniel and he's in his car and he just opens the door and gets back in. That was genius, because it's like, it never took away. It's like that, we're still alive kind of thing. And that whole sequence with Stephen Yeun in his little hideaway, when he talks about the SNL and talks about Chris Kattan, like, being Gordy and redoing, I was almost pissing myself with laughter. That was so good, especially how he sounded like he believed in it so much. And maybe it's a generational thing, but anyone who grew up in the 90s watching SNL, they are immediately going to know. It's like, oh my God, I could totally see that. It's like you, I mean, obviously this is a fake thing, but it's like, I know exactly what you're talking about, especially since Chris Kattan played Mondo. Yeah. So I mean,
Mango.
So yeah, I forgot to mention the comedy aspect of it, and thank you for including that, Jay, because that was one of the best parts of the film. But yeah, my thing with the again with the link, I think is just with the whole like, you know, performances of the animals and respecting them.
I think this film has an identity crisis also. I think because I looked up the editor, it's Nicholas Mansour, who worked on with Jordan Peele and everything but Get Out. Get Out had the Blumhouse editing team. That's what they do. That's what Jason Blum does for every single film that just about goes through that production house. I think this film has an identity crisis because I think it's really simple on how you cut that time off. You cut the Gordy storyline out. We don't need the Gordy storyline, even though I really enjoyed the Gordy storyline. I enjoyed the brutality of it. I am not a hater on what Peele, including that. I'm not a hater on it. But let's be honest about it. In the whole scope of things, you were able to go ahead and present us with the foundation that you can't deal with animals. You can't disrespect animals. You have to respect them. It was shown to me over and over without the Gordy storyline. Honestly, and if we gave Jordan Peele Truth Serum, I wonder if he said, you know what, I really wish I didn't cast Stephen Yeun in my film, because that whole storyline took us in a direction that we really didn't need to do and would have been under 2 hours. And you two can tell me if I'm wrong, but are we starting to see Jordan Peele as M. Night Shyamalan 2.0? Because he's got to have that moment where he's got to show you that you're not expecting something, that, you know what, it's going to be that moment that we're going to shock you with. Get Out had the sunken. Us had them having the other version of themselves, but it really wasn't them because of what happened in the funhouse. And now, Nope has the idea that Gordon the chimp is set off by that, and it's not really an alien spaceship, and it's really, again, spoiler alert, it's a big jellyfish. That's what it is. That's the problem with it right there, is the fact that they should have cut out the Gordy storyline and just had Stephen Yeun's character be in the present moment and not go into the past. He's a neighbor. He's someone who's buying the horses off of them. He has a history. We don't need to go back in the secret. We're going to see what's back there. Honestly, it's kind of a little bit creepy, to be honest with you. It's a little bit creepy that Stephen Yeun's got all that stuff in there. If you're going to go and show us that, then what's going on with Stephen Yeun? Then I'd really like to know what's going on with Stephen Yeun and the damage he has, because he makes it so ambiguous on what Stephen Yeun, and the look on his face when his wife has to massage his digit right here to calm him down, take him out of a trance, which looks really weird and creepy. I mean, is Jordan Peele, did he do a Ty West thing where now we're going to have, was it Jung, whatever his nickname is? We're going to have that film like Ty West has Pearl from X. Are we going to have another film giving the backstory on another character because there's so much going on? It's a big challenge that I have. And you know what? And I don't know about you two, I love that the title is Nope, and I love how it's presented. I think the barn scene with the fake aliens is fantastic. The crowd gets a great reaction in the theater. You laugh. Daniel, how do you pronounce Daniel's last name? Katie, you were amazing at this. How do you pronounce Daniel's last name?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Kaluuya, thank you very much. That's why you were amazing, Katie.
The only reason?
No, one of many, but to do that is a true talent. But to have him there and to really present those funny beats, just like in the truck, just like when he rolls up the window, or they roll up the window where he puts down the lock, great comedy stuff. But again, I think it's an identity crisis. I wonder if Jordan Peele shot a lot of stuff and went, maybe I didn't shoot enough horror and I need to input horror. Maybe that's where the Gordy storyline came from. Maybe that's the horror later on with the more graphic stuff instead of just having the backstory. It's a really interesting concept to think about, because most alien films, we don't see this kind of guts and gore. And to be honest, Oz, I know you say that you like it, the way that they presented them being sucked up into the ship. Again, I think that I've seen better student films that have done it. I'm sorry. I've seen better student films that have done abduction scenes in that kind of parallel. And it makes me again think that this might have been more of a comedy than it was meant to be a science fiction or horror film, now that I think more about it and I've watched it.
I called it reverse childbirth. I thought it looked like reverse childbirth.
That's you know what? I could see that, but you know what though? The way that Katie that he makes it look, the way that they shoot it, if we were sucked up inside the ship and that was or we saw footage that they were sucked up in the ship, and you save that beat for like the time at the end where we start to see things, I would feel more that it was a sci-fi horror. When you constantly show me what's happening inside there, like I think reverse childbirth is a great way of putting it, Katie. It makes it more and more feel like it's physical comedy than anything else.
Yeah, I could see that. Did anyone look up what the quote at the beginning is?
It's meant to be, I don't know if it's a biblical verse, but I think it's Screen Crush. I'll give Ryan Aries credit because he did a really good breakdown of the film. And I went back and I listened to it before I went and saw it again. It's meant to be, I think it's a Bible or gospel verse talking about the decay and talking about what happens to people who exploit. I think it's that. Don't quote me on that. But
Do you want me to quote? Do you want me to do the quote?
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
you
read
have
the scripture.
You have multiplied your merchants more than the stars of the sky. The young locust strips the land and flies away. Thou hast multiplied by merchants, and that's all I got. But I think I can't see the rest of it. But I think that those first two verses right there, the young locust strips the land and flies away. That right there says it all.
Well, you know what?
Thanks, everybody. We're done. Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it says to me that, again, I think Jordan Peele left us very ambiguous on a lot of things. Did he sacrifice social commentary for quality? Maybe.
Well, I feel like he leaves a lot of things ambiguous on a number of things in his movie. Like, you can ask, like in Us, where did all these people come from? Where did they get the material to make those jumpsuits? Where did they get all the gold scissors? Why is everyone wearing this? Who's making where did all the rabbits come from? Who's feeding those rabbits? Because they're not doing anything.
Who allowed Michael Myers to teach him how to drive? Because evil dies tonight.
Exactly. It's all those things. It's like, these are questions. No, it's like they're unanswerable questions. And it's like, if you're so worried about that, then it's like, shut up. I'm not saying shut up, but there's other things you should be looking at in the film. Like, I think there was one we did where I mentioned that it's like, okay, fine. Who taught this? Why does Pamela end up killing all those people in Friday the 13th because her son died, but then her son's alive in Friday the 13th Part 2? Doesn't make sense.
Oz, you're the classic horror fan. Tell us why.
Well, I am looking up something right now.
You're looking at that NAM 316.
I am, because it is not what you're saying it is.
Then what is it? Tell us.
Well, then Google's a liar.
King James Version.
King James Bible. So it's the King James Bible.
Okay. Well,
Nahum there's a number.
Chapter 3-6, King James Version says, "And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock." That's the actual scripture.
That's actually the log line for the movie, because that's exactly what the movie is.
Yeah. That's from the King James Version Bible.
Yep. So it's gospel talking about the exploitation and what happens when you exploit.
Right. You get what you found, Katie, may have been someone's interpretation of what that Bible verse means.
So
but the actual,
no offense, but guys, just looking at this, if we're going by, sorry to get I did not realize. So there's the New International Version, the New Living Translation, the English Standard Version, the Berean Study Bible, King James Bible, New James Version, New American Standard Bible, NASB 1995, NASB 1977, Amplified Bible, Christian Standard Bible, Holman Christian Standard. So there's a number of
there's Bibles too many.
There is, but if you want to just I've always, because trust me, I was raised Pentecostal. When it comes to the Bible, I just go to the King James as the most oldest, most direct. There's all kinds of Bibles that, try to put it into layman's terms, and, because the Bible itself is a very difficult read, because there's a lot of words that we don't use and it's hard to understand. So, I mean, there is a ton of different versions. I never knew there was an athlete's Bible until Janelle bought Blake one. I was like, holy crap, there's an
Your
athlete's
King
Bible.
James thing says the cankerworm spoileth and flieth away.
No.
Yeah, that's what it says. The King James Bible says on here.
This week,
Well,
sponsored by the King James Bible here on Postmortem. Well, I will say this because
it's the sixth verse.
getting so deep here.
If you want to read the whole chapter,
Not really.
the sixth verse is what literally what I said. It's 3-6. That's what it references in the movie. And that 3-6, third chapter, sixth verse. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and
That's
make
the opening
thee vile and will set thee as gazing stock. That's what 3-6 is.
Can I say something that's not Bible related? Is that okay?
Yes.
Sure. Well,
Please don't strike me down with lightning, please. Okay, don't strike me with lightning. I will say this about it, and this, all this ties into the fact of the story, the narrative of this entity. I want to give Jordan Peele, his DP, his entire team that brought this together. What a beautiful film. All right. If you're not a fan of the story or you have trouble with comedy, horror, whatever it is, whether you see in IMAX, you see it in any sort of format. Let's say any sort of format, because this could have been shot in film and it would look beautiful the way they shot it. And by the way, very cool. I don't know if it's real, but that IMAX crank camera, very cool. I just want to say
Oh
that.
my God. Yeah. Amazing.
Very cool.
That's one thing I will say also about it. It was shot very well.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It was
the color, the color correction.
Yes.
I give creating moods with it, the landscape, the vastness, the idea of how the actors with eye line look at the clouds. I mean, it's kind of silly to think about, but it's absolutely wonderful. And the entity, whether you like it or not, it's a beautiful, beautiful entity. Yeah. And it's definitely something that, it's definitely something that is, it definitely elevates the film to create a beautiful creature like that. And I know I'm not a fan, but shout out to Ancient Aliens, because obviously they're getting paid for this film. So,
well, and before we wrap up real quick, I do got to say one thing. I tend to mention Janelle here and there. It's so funny because we were out driving around yesterday and she was like, damn aliens. Now it got me looking around at clouds, seeing if they're moving or not. So she's like literally looking for clouds that aren't moving. Well, I thought that was kind of funny.
I think that's very funny because you know what? There's times we look at clouds and we go, that cloud looks like a weird shape. I think of Independence Day every time we see a dark cloud now. But I stick my head out the window every day now to make sure we're not being pooped on by an alien. I will tell you that.
Pooped on by
pooped on by an alien. Because remember, this is actually 6 months span because with Keith David it happened.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I mean,
we all know everybody's got to poop in 6 months.
I mean, obviously it was at Steven's place and all that stuff, but it seemed like it went from their place already, taking a crap. Bam, Keith David. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, at least the entity thought so. And then, Steven Yeun's then getting horses, which I like to buy back those horses. That was, it's like, yeah, we could talk about that. And it's like, I never thought about it until later, like, oh, you son of a bitch, you were feeding the horses to the alien the whole time.
What a maniacal villain. What a maniacal villain. I love it.
But see, respect the animals. Respect the animals.
Yep.
Well, it's definitely a film, we'll go over in a minute, with our last closing thoughts, but it's definitely a film worth seeing in the theaters. It's one of those films that you enjoy. Like, I'm not trying to compare the films, but like Top Gun Maverick. It's a film you need to see in the theaters to appreciate.
Yes.
Nope is in fact, Nope might be the first one that you need to see in the theaters of Jordan Peele, because Get Out is definitely more grounded. There's a lot more of I don't want to say chamber piece, but small location. Us is a larger film, but it's definitely not to the stretch of Nope. So see it in the theater if you haven't already.
And I would do what you said, Jay. Actually, I'm jealous that you saw it twice because I really want to see it again. To look deeper into everything about the film, and really when like Steven Yeun's character is in his little hideaway, look at really scan everything that he has.
Creeper.
How creepy it is that he has all that stuff.
Yep. He throws in that line, I had a Dutch couple come in to sleep in the room for 50. What are you? Is this hostile? Give me a break, man. It's turned into Hostel. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, look, I'm here, then I'm not.
Ah,
I got sucked up.
Jay disappeared. He's up into the
Nancy,
entity.
got you.
Wait,
Don't
hold on.
worry. Don't worry,
Wrap yourself in some barbed wire and anchor yourself.
Oh yeah, can
You
we
have
real
any
quick?
change?
They'll spit
The
you back
character-
out.
The character of Angel, can we give credit to the actor? He
Yes.
was phenomenal. He was
Yes.
so good. He was so
Yes.
good. Wait, I gotta look up what's his name.
His name is
Brandon.
Brandon Perea.
Brandon. Oh, he's so good. Oh,
He
he's so good.
is so good. And that
so good.
it's like, you know, he to me, I feel like he is the like Little Ray how he was in Get Out. I feel like Brandon Perea is this for Nope. I just feel it's standout. I didn't know who he was before this, and it's again, but these are the performances that Jordan Peele just gets from his actors, like whether it's with rehearsal or just going over everything. He was just so perfect. Like everybody looks just effortless the way they just react to each other. And I mean, he did it. Thank you for bringing him up. He did such a great job.
So great. Michael Wincott, Kim, Keith David. I mean, it was just a great balanced cast. No matter whether you like the performance or not, they all did tremendous. And when I look at Michael Wincott, all I can think of is The Crow. That's all I can think of when I see him.
It's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said in the theater. I was like, I looked at Janelle and I was like, he was the dude. He was the dickhead in The Crow.
It's just his voice.
Yeah.
His voice is like a razor on a violin.
So
I mean,
his voice is like his fingerprints. I mean, it's just so. There's few actors that when you hear their voice, you just immediately know. I mean, Sam Elliott. You know, he's Michael Wincott's one of them. You know,
for me, Kelsey Grammer.
Yes, Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I didn't know if that would go well.
I love Kelsey.
I didn't
Grammer.
expect that at all. You guys like, yes.
Kelsey Grammer is. I mean, yeah.
He's a very distinctive voice. It
Morgan
just always,
Freeman. I mean, there's just guys that you just know that's that.
But I will say one last thing, and this is again a criticism. I'm sorry, but let's realize something. Most likely, Jordan Peele, the only thing he's going to be successful at is film, because Twilight Zone and other projects that have hit TV and other platforms, if they're not comedy, they just don't land. At least when it comes to film, he can put something out there and it'll get, for horror especially, you know, what did it make? 44 million the opening weekend.
Yeah.
It did well for it. And you know what? He's going to continue to try other projects. And I'm glad that he does. I enjoy his work a lot. But honestly, people tend to forget that stuff because they look at it and they say, oh, he won this for Get Out. Oh, it's this for Nope, or Us challenged you. I tell you something, folks, enjoy it, because he's going to turn into a John Carpenter very quickly, which is not an insult by such an imagination, but he's going to be a film actor, or he's going to be a filmmaker who your best stuff is going to be on screen, because everyone will want that standard, and the rest of the stuff is going to go to the side. Mark my words.
Well, if he has a concert, I'm going to get the VIP and meet him.
Oh,
and do all that.
I will be there for you with that. That would be awesome. That'd be
Believe
awesome.
me, those are the best. That's the happiest I've seen Carpenter in quite some time. Worth the money, worth my time. My favorite, one of my favorite experiences.
Oh, Carpenter
of my
concert?
life.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I love Jordan Peele. I thought this movie was great. Again, I want to see it again in a theater with great sound and just look at all the things over and over again. But I like I said at the beginning, the three standards: exceptional, like outstanding performances by everyone that he casts, like amazing casting department, always something with the family aspect of it. And then you've got that twist in the middle and the fight for life at the end that I love. And I think, you know, like I said, I will watch anything he does because I just love his mind.
5 stars, darling, 5 stars.
Me at this point, you know, I heard Jay, I think it said he's 3 for 3. I would give him a 1 for 3, but hey, you know what? 1 for 3 will get you in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
That's all I will say.
3. That's right.
You know, I loved Get Out. Us was a swing and a miss. This one, even a bigger swing and a miss. This one was at least had some redeeming quality. Us was just, to me, I just could not. And in his defense, there were some other things going on. The theater lost power, and then
Oh.
and then they in the middle of the film, and then they were showing it without sound, and then
Oh wow!
then they came back, and then they were.
Oh, you got to watch it again.
No,
dude.
you gotta watch it like
You got to watch it again.
But it
I'm
was.
sorry.
It had me checked out before even that happened. I mean,
that's a bad first date. Like
Yeah,
that
It
is a
was.
bad,
It
bad
really
first
was,
date.
and plus, it was down at the ghetto theater when we had people yelling at the theater stuff, and I don't know. It was just it was a bad experience. I'll give him that. So, I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but overall, I mean, they had to back it up. I mean, we were yelling at him. Okay, no, that's not where it left off. So we had already seen some stuff and then didn't hear the audio and then had to But it was bad. But this at least was, there were some redeeming qualities to it, but it was just ultimately too dry for me. So I still give it a 1 for 3. And I'm gonna have to be. When it comes to Jordan Peele going forward, it's going to probably be for me like this. I'm going to have someone that I respect their opinion say, "Hey, it was really good. You should go check it out," because we saw the trailers, and like you said, Katie, I agree they show too much, but I mean, they need to show enough to get you interested, but they're showing way too much of plot.
Wait. Can I just throw one thing quick? And I want to give Susan Decker a lot of credit because I missed this the first time. Okay, misdirection in the trailer. That woman who sits up from the chair looks like an alien. Am I wrong? Okay, but it's really the sister from the Gordy show.
Yeah.
She's got I didn't notice that. Susan pointed, she goes, "Oh yeah, it's the girl from the sister." I went, "Oh my God." Misdirection in the trailer, because if you look at that trailer, the makeup that she has on from being attacked by Gordy, she looks like an alien. I'm sorry, she looks like an alien very much. I wanted to throw that out there and give Susan credit because that was something, again, misdirection, as you brought up, Katie, from that trailer.
See, and there you go. I don't watch the trailer, so I have no idea what you're talking about. But
you'll see. Watch the trailer when you get off. You'll see exactly.
Hey, and about. You know what? I will say one thing real quick before we wrap up. I was glad to see they had a Halloween Ends trailer before this one, and I know you're going to shake your head. Evil dies tonight, Jay.
Evil dies. So let's get the garbage disposal kill now. Oh.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I went to a press screening, so I don't have any trailers. I don't know what that is that you're talking about. So,
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this. Go to Pitch Meeting on YouTube. Go check out what Ryan does, the pitch meeting for Halloween Kills. And I'll tell you what, you're going to have a great laugh because he points out every single thing, Oz, that is just ridiculous about this film.
What is that again?
Pitch Meeting.
Go see what?
Pitch Meeting on YouTube. Watch Pitch Meeting on YouTube. Pitch Meeting. It's about Halloween Kills. And you know what? It's going to be.
Oh, Halloween Kills. No, I don't. Yes. I've already seen that. I don't.
No. It's meant to be. It's humorous. Watch it. You'll love it.
Oh, okay.
Watch it. You'll love it.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out.
Please do.
All right. Well, that will wrap up another episode for us. Be sure to check us out. We'll be back. Hopefully not too long. I know we've got some things in the hopper that Katie wants to do an episode on Resurrection.
Yes.
Yes. Sure.
Have you seen it, Jay?
I interviewed the director. Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet, and I was looking. It looks like it's only playing in a ghetto theater near me, so I'm trying to see it at the Esquire in Cincinnati. Man, I mean, it's like, God. Can it be?
Well, when it comes out on VOD, we'll do it. You know what I think we should do? Katie, I like your idea about Resurrection. I think it's a really great film. Rebecca Hall and Tim Roth are great. Oh, by the way, do you know what the best horror-esque movie of the weekend was? It wasn't Nope. Let me bring it up here, and I'm going to tell you. Gone in the Night with Winona Ryder. If you have not seen that film with Dermot Mulroney and Winona Ryder, is a
I love Dermot Mulroney.
I haven't even heard of that film.
Yes, Gone in the Night, playing some AMCs. It was better than Nope. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well,
Gone
to me,
in the Night was better
that's
than
not
Nope?
a ringing endorsement, but
yes, it's an indie thriller with really great talent, a wonderful twist to it, and it kept me hooked the entire hour and a half. Hour and a half, Jordan Peele, just saying.
Gone in the Night, you said?
Gone in the Night, yes, Gone in the Night. Yes, it's by Ralph Margulies and JP Lipschitz. They are a great producing duo, put out a lot of wonderful horror every single year. They are the producers, two of the big producers behind it. But it was wonderful, wonderful thriller.
Okay. No, I'll
Yes.
check that out. I'm
Highly
going
recommend.
to Kansas City this weekend, so I'll see if maybe like the little, I know there's an indie little theater downtown, and see if they have it. I have not heard that. They did not have any pre-screenings or anything here in
Oh,
Chicago, at least
so
that I
good.
know from the marketing team. But yeah, I'll definitely check out Gone in the Night.
Nothing
Okay.
on Cinemark.
Gone
All
in the night.
right.
Yes, we might have to wait for it, but it's well worth doing. But that wasn't my idea. I want to do, we should really get to know the fans. Why don't we do a show that's not talking about a film, and let's talk about some of our favorite films? Pick a
I
subject.
love that.
Well,
Favorite
Katie
films.
had the idea of that there's a lot of films that are coming up for their 40th anniversary this year from what was it, 1980?
1982. I mean, you
Okay.
already had The Thing. You've got
Yeah.
Show coming up.
Okay.
I mean, believe me, there's a huge list of 82.
Okay.
Poltergeist. I mean, Tag. There's I could go on and on. Like seriously, there's like 20 to 50 like solid films from
Okay.
82 that
Sounds
like
good.
set the standard for what supernatural horror. Blade
Yes.
Runner is a quintessential film that then almost every film for the next 40 years, it's like, what's the future going to look like? It's going to be this, it's going to rain all the time. That is
It's
because of
Soylent
Blade Runner.
Green. It's
Yeah.
Soylent Green. That's the future, folks.
Well, and that's 2022. That's actually this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Good
I
job,
know.
Katie. Good job. And we'll see you at Horror Hound, September 9th to the 11th, horrorhoundweekend.com.
Be
Horror
there.
Hound
Or
Weekend, Cincinnati. Be there.
Film
Be there.
Festival, be there.
Be there.
we're gonna do a live
Yes.
episode.
Oh, I didn't know if
That's
we
right.
could say that or not. Okay, yes, doing a live episode, be there.
Doing
You
a
can
live
meet us.
episode.
We'll
Be
sign.
there.
We'll sign autographs, do photos, whatever you want to do.
I'll have villains music when I walk out.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys, take care. Be nice to each other. Just be a good human being. All right.
Nope.
Yes. Yes, but no.
All right. Well, that's one
Any
thing
day
I'll
of the
give
week.
it.
In Empire Records, it's Rex Manning Day, baby.
That's right. Say no more. Money more. Say
Gone
no
in the
more.
night. Gone in the night.
Yeah.